Every week, we give back to God from what is already His. We ask Him to accept our offering and bless it for His purposes of spreading the gospel. Our hope is that through our tithes and offerings, more and more people are added to the kingdom of God. There's a saying that we have around here, and that is, people are more important than things. And it's this mindset that helps to guide us on how we live and how we give. And so with that, here are some principles that the Bible teaches us that we follow and model as a church, and it's what we expect our members to follow as well. And number one is this: remember that all things belong to God. Read Psalm 50, verses 7 through 12, and you will see this quite clearly. Number two, God appointed us to be creative managers of His creation. We are not the owners, but God has given us ownership rights. And we see that in Genesis 1, verse 28. Number three, because of these rights, we are to work hard and be good stewards. Now, a steward is a person who is employed to manage another's property, especially something large and valuable. And I would say being a steward over the earth is a pretty high calling. Think of how you feel when someone doesn't take care of your own things. God feels the same way about that. And number four, be compassionate and generous with your goods to those in need. God has a deep heart for the needy. In Leviticus 19, verse 10, it says, "And you shall not strip your vineyard bare, neither shall you gather the fallen grapes of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and for the sojourner. I am the Lord your God." And again, in 1 John 3:17, it says, "But if anyone has the world's good and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him?" Now, there's also a bit of general economic wisdom we like to share, and it's called the 10-10-80 principle, and it goes like this. Tithe 10%. That's the first fruits, what we give to God first. Save 10%. This allows us financial freedom in the future. And live 80%. Live on the remaining 80% with little to no debt. This frees you up to live a generous life where people are more important than things. And we've taken this to heart here at Central. We have been able to become debt-free as a church. Now, this doesn't mean that we still don't have operating costs like electricity, insurance, water, but we do own the ground beneath our feet, and it has been a great blessing from God. Now, just so you know, generosity takes practice. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly become generous. Start being generous with a little, and soon enough, you'll be generous with a lot. I'm excited to share that we are able to be generous and give over 15% of our church tithes and offerings to missions work, both in our community and around the world. Now, if you need a little help making this happen in your life, we'd love for you to go through Financial Peace University. I personally have taken it, and I can speak just from my own example of how freeing it is when you become a good steward of God's resources.